Hello students, let us start our session with chapter number 7, alternating current. Now, in earlier chapters, we have taken as in source that was a DC source. DC means direct current, means amplitude of the current do not change with respect to the time. While in the AC source, that is alternating current, in which voltage or amplitude is varying with time, right? So, voltage and current are varying with respect to time. As in our home and offices, wherever the power supply coming, that is alternating current, that is in terms of voltage, that is AC voltage, and current is driven from that AC voltage, that is known as alternating current, that is AC current. So generally AC defines alternating current, but here AC specify for that alternating itself. So alternating voltage is coming from the mains and current driven by that supply, that is known as alternating current, AC current. Now we need to understand that why we supposed to choose AC current. So if we list out any advantages of AC and DC, and while we compare, so we can say that DC is the supply from which there is no skin effect, no interference is there. It is more efficient, it is more economical, we can get better speed from it, less power loss is there. So many of the security is more, we can do coding from the DC itself. So many of the advantages are available of DC over the AC. But still we are using a AC power supply. There is a reason behind that. While we are going to repair and maintain that supply, so AC maintenance is less compared to DC. And while the power transmission is possible, so power transmission is easy to do with the AC supply compared to the DC. And wherever the power plant is established, from that while the power supply is need to transmit, so that power supply is generated at the power plant in terms of AC. If they want to transmit that supply in terms of DC, then they have to convert that large amount of power from AC to DC. That is not feasible, that is very much costly, right? And that's why whatever the amount of power, whatever the way the power is generated, that is in terms of AC, that is in the same manner, in the same way AC supply is transmitted, that is available at our home or offices, right? And that is very easy and efficiently converted from one voltage to another voltage by using a transformer. As two types of transformers are there, step up and step down, that we will study in detail in this chapter. That step up transformer can increase the AC voltage and step down transformer can decrease the AC voltage. So voltage value can be changed in terms of AC itself. And by comparing that, some of the reasons, even though the advantages are more with the DC, but we prefer to use AC for the transmission purpose. Yes, many of the devices are itself there that are driven from the DC supply. So for that we are using adapter which convert AC supply to DC supply. And many of the appliances are working from AC itself. So let us try to observe that earlier DC voltage is provided to the resistor and we have derived the formulas for the current. We have determined their values. Now, instead of that DC volt, let us give AC volt to the resistor. As you can observe in diagram, The symbol of the AC just like a sine wave, So that shows the alternating voltage. Here in the diagram, it's shown from that symbol by the epsilon. It is denoted as an voltage. Now, with that voltage, resistor R is connected. This resistor is connected in series with the supply voltage, and in this series, current is flowing same. So now next task is there, how much current is flowing from the resistor by giving the AC voltage. So that voltage is, as the sinusoidal behavior is there, so it must be represented in terms of sine function. But as we know sinusoidal behavior, in that each and every point amplitude is different. So which voltage we supposed to denote it in terms of equation? So we are choosing right now maximum voltage. And that's why as AC voltage is defined as a V equals to Vm sine omega t. Vm represents maximum voltage, that is the amplitude of the signal, and omega defines its angular frequency. For the DC voltage, single parameter is there, that is a voltage. But for the AC voltage, three parameters can be represent: voltage, that is amplitude, frequency, and phase. Phase is basically the angle difference, but here only a single voltage is there, so we are not denoting that angle in the equation. So there is an angular frequency omega and Vm is there. Omega equals to basically 2 pi f. That is a radian frequency. So f is the frequency of the signal and f represents 1 by capital T. That T defines time duration required to complete a single cycle. After that duration, signal will be repeated with the same behavior. So this is how the frequency is defined over here in terms of its angular frequency. Now, to determine that current value, we are using basically Kirchhoff's voltage law or Kirchhoff's loop rule. Basically, two rules are given by the Kirchhoff, that is KVL and KCL. But if we are using a KCL, current rule, then while we write down that equation, we have this equation in terms of V by R. So voltage terminology will be appear. We want to determine current. So let us use that law in such a manner that direct calculation can be possible. So instead of that KCL, we are using KVL because the loop is available. Series loop is there. So in the loop rules should be applied. That is a KVL. So KVL suggests that algebraic sum of the voltages in the loop would be 0. Here two voltages can appear. One is the supply voltage and another is the voltage drop across resistor. So it would be like V equal to VR. Let us define VR is the voltage drop across resistor and V is the voltage of the supply. V, as we represent supply voltage, Vm sine omega t, and voltage drop across resistor VR, that is I into R based on the Ohm's law. So as you can see in the equation, Vm sine omega t equals to IR. So make the subject of formula I, so it will become Vm by R sine omega t. That R is the constant value, that resistance value connected in series. So Vm by R can be represented as Im. So I equals to Im sine omega t. So here we can say that maximum voltage is Vm and maximum current Im is Vm by R. It means here there is no phase variation would be there. V equals to Vm sine omega t, I equals to Im sine omega t. So here, while the sine omega t, the phase is 0 for both the case. Means we can say that phase difference between voltage and current for the resistor is 0. But amplitude, if we are focusing, then amplitude of the voltage is Vm and maximum amplitude of the current is Vm by R. It means amplitude of the current is reduced by the factor of R compared to Vm. So this thing we can focus from the waveform as it's shown over here. Voltage has the greater amplitude than the current, but phase difference is 0. So both are started from the 0 point with the 0 amplitude. No phase variation is shown over here. And current and voltage both are varying sinusoidally with respect to time and complete its a first cycle within the same time duration. So here positive and negative variations are available. Amplitudes are varying from 0 to positive and it goes towards the negative. So if we are taking a sum of the instantaneous current values over the complete cycle, then it would be 0. So average current is 0. But if we are going to determine the average power, then we need to check that how is it 0? Is it 0 or not? Right? Basically, it won't be 0 and there is no dissipation of electrical energy. So let us verify that how that average power is available non-zero even though average current is 0. So for that, to determine the current, we are using a Joule heating rule that we have already observed in grade 10. So that power dissipation equation is I square R. So here we can say that power is directly proportional to the I square, not on I. If power is depending on I, then if average power is 0, then average current is 0, then average power can be 0. But here it is depending on I square. So even though current value is negative, by taking its square, it would be positive. So here we can say that my power cannot be 0 even though average current is 0. Let us determine the power value. So P equals to I square R. I we have already determined Im sin omega t. So replace that value. So it would be Im square sin square omega t into R. Now if we are going to take average value, so P bar, that bar denotes average of power and the triangle bracket defines the quantity of which average value we are going to take. So here Im and R both are constant. So their average value cannot be determined. So take it outside from the triangle. So here it defines that sin square omega t is the quantity of which we are going to take its average. So what is a sin square omega t? That is 1 minus cos 2 omega t by 2. Right? So 1/2 is again constant. So take the average of cos 2 omega t. While we are going to take average of cos 2 omega t by integrating it from 0 to t by 2, then the answer would be 0. Average of cos 2 omega t, it would be 0. So if that average value is 0, putting it there, if cos 2 omega t is 0, so we can say that it would be 1/2. So sin square omega t, average of it, that is a 1/2. So replace it in the above equation. So power average is Im square R as it is, and instead of the sin square omega t, it would be 1/2. So we can say that average power is 1/2 Im square by R. So we can say that average power is not 0, but it is available with half of Im square R. Now, if we want to include or determine the AC power in the same form as DC power, and DC power equation was I square R. Focus over here as whatever the AC voltage and current notations we are taking, it is denoted as a small letter. And for the DC, that voltage and current notations we have done, that is by having capital letter. That is universally accepted. Just to differentiate that, by focusing that symbol, we can understand that voltage or current representation either in terms of DC or AC. That's why these different notations are there. So here, for the DC, it would be capital I square R, right? So now, if we want to define in terms of DC, we are supposed to take its RMS value. RMS, that is root mean square or effective current, that is denoted as IRMS. And if we want to take RMS value, as we know, that is under root square. That is, take the square of the given quantity and take its root again. So that is what the RMS. So RMS value of I, it is defined as under root of I square. So that is 1/2 Im square. So that is available as Im by root 2. Right? Because in terms of DC, if we are taking, it must be with the root 2. So here we are getting that IRMS, that is Im by root 2. Now use that value in the power. So we are taking average power in terms of RMS value. So that would be 1/2 Im square R. That is itself I square R. So here we can say that both values are same. Right? We can also use Ohm's law as it is, V equals to IR. So both the side use the under root. So Vm by root 2 equals to Im by root 2 by R. That is V equal to IR. This DC representation in terms of RMS value we can see in the diagram.
All the academic heads